So, you're wanting to write your first D&D campaign. How on earth do we do that? Well, my advice for writing your very first one would be keep it extremely simple. Probably do a one-shot. If you're unfamiliar with a one-shot, it's basically just a game that you can play in one session, not multiple nights. This will kind of keep your game condensed and give your characters a more direct passage to an end goal, and there won't be as much room for exploration and venturing off the goal path, basically. This will really help you, especially your first time, just keeping your world connected and being less afraid of your characters adventuring off and going where you didn't plan them to go. Another thing that really helps with this is keeping your world contained within a certain building or something like that. Have them investigate a wizard tower, or wake up without any gear in a dungeon, or be aboard a pirate ship when enemy ships are coming in from either side. These can create really, really cool game moments, but also just like your characters aren't just gonna jump off the pirate ship and swim to shore, you know what I mean? They're just not gonna do that. It will help you not have to plan as much in case your characters venture off and go do different things. As you get better at it, then you'll be able to be like, okay, my characters may do this, so I'll prepare that. And you'll also get faster at writing things like that as well. So it's not a big deal, but just for starting, I would do something like that. Don't have to, but just a recommendation. Now, in terms of preparing and writing for your actual story, I would suggest starting with your encounter. Have one encounter that's kind of the main thing you want to have happen. This could be the end, a boss battle, or the end goal, or just a battle halfway through that you really want your players to interact with. And then you can kind of build your other things off that. So you need obviously a beginning, a middle, and an end. Personally, I think the game hook is the most important thing in the entire writing process of your campaign. It's what will get your players really hooked into the game and make them want to accomplish a certain goal. If you just tell them, go here and do that, they're gonna be like, why are we here? What are we doing this for? Let's go check out that instead. You know what I mean? Like, they're not gonna feel like any sort of urgency to complete the mission. Give them a reason to care. Know your crowd too. My friends, specifically, were kind of not the biggest fan of politics. So having a political tyrant or a king who's evil is something that gets my crowd pretty invested into the game pretty quick. That's just one small example, but definitely knowing your crowd really, really helps. Also, ask your players what they enjoy most. I ran a campaign the other day, and I asked my friends at the end of it, what was your guys' favorite part? And a lot of them said the social interactions, the conversations, that sort of thing. I think a lot of players think that the combat is going to be the most exciting thing. But when you've got a lot of players and you're all waiting to take your turn to roll, it can get a little stale when you're just fighting a sponge who's just absorbing everyone's attacks, taking a lot of damage. It's hard to keep that exciting and engaging. So definitely, again, knowing your crowd is super duper important. There are also a ton of like really good hooks and encounters that you can find online, whether it's on YouTube, I'll have some definitely coming up, or on Pinterest, or just Googling online adventure hooks. That sort of thing can be super useful if you're at a total wall and you can't find anything to go off of. Personally, another thing that really helps for me is visuals. Having something that you can kind of like picture in your mind, being like, oh, like, yeah, I could do this. Again, Pinterest, I think, is one of the best resources in my opinion. You can find lots of battle maps and other maps and sort of things on there. I've based entire campaigns just off a single photo that I've found on Pinterest. A small short campaign, but still, nonetheless, it's really quick and easy. It's crazy how much you can just pull from one photo. And yeah, maybe I'll find a battle map and be like, okay, I want my characters to get here. How do I get them here? This will be where the final battle is. Asking yourself questions like that really will help. Also, another idea you may want to have is having a guide NPC. This can basically be a character that you as the dungeon master can play as, basically. It can point your characters in the right way, can give them a goal to achieve, that sort of thing. However, if you are going to do this, you want to make sure that that character is like pretty flushed out, or else your players, if they're anything like my players, will question that character to eternity and may end up killing it. Just because they have suspicions that they think it's evil, that sort of thing. So you have to write that character well, but it can be a good tool to use. But yeah, in conclusion, main thing is just really keep it simple, especially for your first one. Once you run your first one, I think a lot of your fear and just things you were nervous about don't end up happening. There's no need to worry. Just tell everyone, you know, it's my first time being a DM, and just run it to the best of your ability. You're gonna learn so much from running your first one. And ultimately, have fun with it and tell a good story. That's really all that matters. So hopefully that gave you some tips. We'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.